Okay, it's going. Joe,
Yes.
can you tell us a little bit about what you're working on today?
I'm working on a funeral piece called the Standing Spray, and it's using lavender, pink, and red for a lady. And we put the greens in already into the container. It's on a 72-inch easel. And the container that I'm putting the flowers into is called the floral cage. It has the oasis, which is floral foam that has been watered. The flowers drop their moisture off of the foam, and it helps preserve them. It's very helpful to the whole industry. It's been around for about 50 years. Kind of putting in an outline first of the lavender liatris, which is also known as gay feather. It's the only flower in the world of flowers that blooms from the top as opposed to blooming from the bottom up like gladiolus.
Morning.
Now I'm adding some pink larkspur, which is truly a garden flower, but we've been using it in the industry for quite a while. And I try to make the color pattern if possible. I focus the lavender up and bringing the pink in on the sides and down. And the roses are going through the center. So basically the line flowers is the liatris and the larkspur. Larkspur is sometimes confused with delphinium, but they're two different flowers. Delphiniums basically are white, blue, and purple. Larkspur comes in pink, lavender, white, and of course pink.
Joe, how long have you been doing flower arranging?
I started in 1958, so that's what, 54 years, something. I'm not good at math in my head. I have to use a pencil.
Where was the first place you started designing?
I worked in shop in Chicago on the Northwest Side. And my first job working with these people, I was fresh out of design school. It was right before Easter, and we chose many corsages, and I was making all the bows. So I became the bow expert. Even here at Heritage House, I make bows.
Our house bow expert and our house bow expert and funeral piece.
Well, I can do almost anything. I mean, when I had my own shop, I did everything: weddings, funerals, get well, birthdays. I kind of pride myself in my funeral work, in my styling, and making a good show for the money.
And of course, right now you're putting in red roses.
I'm sorry, yes.
Tell us a little bit about those roses.
These are called Freedoms. They're a newer variety. They're not carnation red, but they're not as dark as some of the others that are available. It's a good red. And it's a long-lasting, a lot of petals in the bud. And, one thing we don't have to wire because they have a good neck stem to support the bud. And when we finish this in the morning, we will be adding some stargazer lilies. I'm sorry, alfalfa lilies, which are an oriental, very fragrant, and a very true pink. So they'll have more pink in it.
Can you tell us a little bit about the shop that you owned?
Well, I bought my shop in 1975 from the people I had worked for, because they wanted to retire to Arkansas and develop other interests. And when I found out it was available, I went home and told my wife, talked to her, and I told her that it was not me buying the flower shop, it was us. And that's the way it was. We worked together for 28 years. Oh, excuse me, I have a frog today from sinus and allergies, which is just wonderful when you're a florist. So it was, we had quite successful business, and I just felt in 2003, it was time to hang up the shingle as far as the shop owner goes. Although I was in pretty good health, and I felt I still wanted to be active, so I came to work for Kathy and Richard. I sometimes talk to the flowers. They don't go where I want them to.
As long as they listen.
I'm sorry?
As long as they listen to you.
Yes. Well, sometimes they do and sometimes they don't.
As far as the style of this arrangement, what would you call that?
Well, here at the shop we call it Chicago style because it's large, and we do make them more compact at times.
Like an easel arrangement, though?
It's an standing spray on an easel,
Mm-hmm.
and that would be a way to ask if you would like one to have one, so you use the proper terminology. Otherwise, we make them standing baskets in mache containers. They go on a stand or on a pedestal in the funeral home. This will be self-standing at the funeral home. And after you do this for a few years, you don't even have to measure. You just kind of eyeball where you're going to put flowers, and you know how to cut them in length. Now in this piece of roses that becomes the dominant flower of the arrangement. Having had the piece pre-greened, it doesn't take any amount of time to put the flowers in. We are timing this, but this has been about 20 minutes.
Hey, Joe.
10? Oh, okay, well, I mean, I guess it's looking towards the end of the day. That's it.
Beautiful. Thank you.
You're welcome.